How did you build those relationships, and how did you earn the respect and trust from players that you were somebody they could talk to?
B is still word of mouth when it comes to the NBA, and I'm pretty sure it's still word of mouth as it pertains to the NFL, Major League Baseball, Major League Soccer, or whatever. And when I say word of mouth, players talk to each other. They talk to each other. They talk to other players about what reporter to talk to, what reporter is going to screw you, and all that. And so, anyways, I'm a very observant person. So, especially going into that year of working for free, I remember when I went into a locker room, and one thing that I saw when I first would go into a locker room, first of all, I'm checking out how everybody does their job, and for the most part, I would see reporters just go into the locker room as soon as it's open. Player may be changing at the locker stall. Player may just be sitting down with earphones on, listening to music, and I would see reporters just go right up to a player and shove a mic in their face and start asking questions. And I would see the player's reaction from that. And I would see this time and time again to the point where players started knowing, okay, we know when the media is going to be allowed in. We're going back there for treatment. We're going to ignore, I'm going to avoid the media. And so I saw that. And I was like, man, I don't want to come across like, I don't want to be lumped in that boat. And so what I did was, obviously, you have to do your research on the players you're covering anyway. And so I would, do research, see where they're from, if they have family, what their beliefs are, and blah, blah, blah. And I would go in there and I would just start having conversations with guys, like getting to know them getting to know me. And plus, I'm the only brother in that Portland market too. So they were already a little curious about what my story was anyways. Yeah. And so, I started building relationships that way to where I'm just talking with them, having a conversation. How's the wife? Talking about, real shit. And so then when it got to the point, so relationships were established. And then when it got to the point being when I actually had to ask a question, they would just give me gold because, we were solid. They would, and so how people can say there's not a bad question. Yeah, there are bad questions. There are bad questions, there are average questions, and there are good questions. And I found out, even still today, that based off of the relationships I have with certain guys out there, I can ask an average question, maybe even a bad question, and they will give me gold. And it's based off of how comfortable they are with me. It's based off of the relationships. It's based off of the history of me never burning them. It's based off of those off the record conversations that we had that never saw the day of light. It's based off of that. And that's what I value. I value relationships. And that's not just pertaining to the NBA. I value relationships, period. Because you need relationships to, to be able to do my job, whether that's with general managers, owners, the commissioners, agents, family members, whatever. Your word is your bond. And so when I established that, players talk.